Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In today's video, I'll be looking at al-murrakkabun naqis sentences. So al-murrakkabun naqis sentences refers to incomplete sentences. In last lesson, I was looking at the al-jumlatul insha'iyya sentences, and I gave 10 examples which we had to learn. So after learning these, then we need to learn, they were in complete sentences, so now I've moved on to incomplete sentences, so we also need to learn the different types of incomplete sentences. So the several types, I'll just name each one and then I'll explain it in detail. So the first one is al-murrakkabut tawsifi, and this is the descriptive phrase. Al-murrakkabul idafi is the possessive phrase. Al-murrakkabul ishari is the demonstrative phrase. Al-murrakkabul bina'i is the numerical phrase. And last but not least, murrakkabun man is sarf. Made a little mistake there, so I've just wrote it again here. My Tipex pen has disappeared. This is what happens when you have children. Nevertheless, continuing on. So, murrakkabun man is sarf describes the indeclinable phrase. Al-murrakkabut tawsifi, so is that sentence where the murakkab, so that's the compound in which the second word describes the first word. So in that sentence, in this kind of incomplete sentence, the second word is what is going to be describing the first word. So for example, we have the example rajulun salihun. So salihun means the sentence is referring to a pious man. A pious man is an incomplete sentence. And we have salihun means pious or righteous, salihun. And rajulun refers to a man. So rajulun, this part of the word, the first part, is also known as man'ut and mawsuf. So I wrote it in English, and also the Arabic is spelled as like so, al-man'ut and al-mawsuf, and we need to learn these terms. And salihun is this part of the sentence. The second word is known as sifa and an-nat. As sifa and an-nat, as written here. So if we can remember the sentences that we've learned previously, for example, the jumlatul fi'liya, the jumlatul ismiya, where in the jumlatul ismiya we had the first word, which was the musnad ilayhi, and the second word, which was the musnad. And whereas the jumlatul fi'liya, we had the first word, which was the musnad, and the second word, which was the musnad ilayhi. And we had other sentences which, like for example, the murrakkabul idafi, which we'll be coming to, you've got the mudaf and the mudaf ilayh. So we have all these different terms to describe the words, so the first word and the second word, and these things we do need to memorize, so to describe the different words, the different terms in the sentence. So yeah, we do need to learn these, so we need to familiarize ourselves with these terms. We should write these down and then keep practicing until we have memorized them. So the next word is al-murrakkabul, the next term of murrakkabun naqis, an incomplete sentence, is a murrakkabul idafi. So the murrakkabul idafi is that murakkab which generally shows possession, i.e. the second word possesses the first word. So here we have an example. So here we have kitabu zaydin. So kitabu zaydin, like I was mentioning, this is the mudaf and this is the mudaf ilayh. So the mudaf comes first, the mudaf ilayh comes second. So we see here kitabu zaydin, Zayd's book. So here we have these are these are known as Zayd's book. So we have the, like I was saying, mudaf and the mudaf ilay, which comes after. And also what we notice about the state of the letters, the last letter, so kitabun, it's not in a state of tanween, it's in a dhamma state. It loses the tanween and becomes in a dhamma state. So kitabun will be kitabu, and then zaydin, the thing which is possessing, that will be in a state of kasra. So you see it's zaydin, not zaydun, so it's zaydin. So just remember that point. So the next example we have another type of al-murrakkabun naqis is al-murrakkabul ishari. So al-murrakkabul ishari is that murakkab wherein the first word, the pronoun, is used to indicate towards the second word. So you've got, for example, hazal kitabu. So hazal means this book. So the first word, this, is used to indicate this towards the second word. So you've got this book, hazal kitabu. If we look at that is an incomplete sentence. So casting our minds back to when we did the sentences where we studied haza kitabun, the first sentence is this is a book. One of the first sentences that we did. Haza kitabun means this is a book. So mubtada refers to the first word, and the khabar, the information, is the second word. The subject is haza and this, and then the kitabun is the khabar, this book. So this haza kitabun refers to a complete sentence, whereas hazal kitabu, when you have an alif lam in front of the kitabu, it becomes this book, and this is referred to an incomplete sentence. So know the difference, learn the difference. Haza kitabun, this is a book, and is doesn't appear in the word haza kitabun, but it's implied. So to make the sentence, when you put haza and kitabun, to make it sense in English, we put the word is. So this is implied in the sentence, and this is a book. This is how it's written. Even though it's not written in, it's implied, so it becomes a complete sentence. So the first part of the sentence, where we have these murakkabul ishari words, the first part, the haza, here is known as ismul ishari. Ismul ishari. So I've wrote it in English and in Arabic for the sisters to learn. And the last part of the sentence, hazal kitabu, kitabu is known as the musharu ilayhi. The musharu ilayhi. So these terms we also need to learn. Another murakkabun naqis that I described was al-murakkab, mentioned before, and I'm going to describe. So it's al-murakkabul bina'i. So al-murakkabul bina'i is that murakkab wherein two words are combined to form one word. So it's two words combined to form one word. So for example, here I've wrote al-harful ataf. Al-harful ataf is a conjunction, and originally it was which originally linked the two words, e.g. Let me just read that again. I don't think I've made sense. So al-murakkabul bina'i is that murakkab wherein two words are combined to form one word. So al-harful ataf is a conjunction which originally linked the two words. So this type of sentence where you have two words, and these two words combine to form one word. So for example, ahada ashara, this was originally ahadun wa ashara. So ahadun wa ashara became ahada ashara, and now it's one word, but it's still classed as a murakkabut tam. It's still classed as an incomplete sentence. It's not classed as one word, even though it becomes one word. Ahada ashara is still classed as an incomplete sentence. So in this type where you have the murakkabul binai, this applies to number, and it says numbers, and it says this type of sentence is only found in the numbers between 11 and 19. And the last example is